the Hume Football League and some big surprises last week. No one ever surprises this fellow, though. Phil Bouffler is with us. G'day, Phil. How you going?
Well, I am surprised, Wayne, but you're calling me back after my tips last week. They weren't great. A couple of them, but how going? So anyway, I've regrouped and hopefully it'll be a bit better this week.
Yeah, hopefully. How's farming going in your part of the world? Just to look at the fact that we've had a little bit of moisture around the place again, and looks like there might be some coming again.
Yeah, crops are coming up nicely. Can see I'm perched up the top of my driveway to get some reception. Thank you, Telstra. And so I'm just overseeing the farm a little bit, and I can see my man down there sowing my last paddock of canola. So started off with a blaze of glory and got to the first quarter and got bogged. So anyway, I had a bit of time getting him out this morning, so that was all a bit of fun. So the rest of the paddock should be fine.
What did you pull him out with?
I've got an articulated tractor, so I pulled him out with that, thank goodness.
How many horsepower?
I had a little one, I got 260, but it pulled him out pretty well. It was just one wet spot he found in a corner, so it was wet in there. So he filled his cart right up, of course. So anyway.
Any heavy losses, or was it all continue around the paddock?
Just a bit of pride was lost by him, I think.
Yeah, very nicely done. Last week, a bit of pride was on the line in a couple of matches, and I'll tell you what, we'll go through them because the Billabong Crows were absolutely mauled by the Osborne Tigers.
Well, Wayne, he was one of my great tips. So I was at a game at Murray Magpies last week, and the Crows had only got one goal at three-quarter time, so that wasn't a great tip. Osborne were far too strong. Very good side. Yeah, they played very well.
Yeah, they've got some stars in that lineup too still, and they're going to be hard to toss this year. Hayden Armstrong, 6 goals, and he was massive.
Mate, he's a very good player back in Canberra. And I said a couple of weeks ago, my young bloke played at Gungal, and he knows this Matthew McGrory, and he's a very good player, so he's just going very well apparently. So I might try and get a bit of his action on Saturday with a bit of luck.
Yeah, when Big Armstrong gets George Alexander's measure, George with 4 and Hayden O'Connell also had 4, you've got a good forward line and they're going to kick some big scores, I think. Connor Hargraves tried hard for the losers, and I'll mention Dylan Flanagan and Michael O'Riordan because they both kicked a goal. The only 2 goals that were kicked by the Billabong Crows on the day. Jindera 8-13-61, Rock Burham 7-6-48. The Saints have started slowly this year.
Wasn't a lot in it, but just Jindera kicked away. I think even the BB Saints might have been in front at three-quarter time, and the Jindera just kicked away in the last quarter.
Yeah, they did. They certainly did.
Good win to Jindera. They were stiff the week before against Holbrook. They came home with a wet sail and did the same again on Saturday, so they probably need to get off to a bit better start.
All right, the power is on. The lights are switched out there at the Careen Oval. It was the CDHBU at home. 19-9, 123. Too good for the Culcan Lions. 6-3-39.
That's it. With all the woke people shutting down Liddell, we'll be looking for a bit of power in New South Wales, so this could be it. So we'll have to make our way to Corrine.
They were magnificent, and it's a good start to the season by them. They've got some good players. They've recruited pretty well, and Corey Smith has this. He's booted 12 big ones. Now, I think they call him CJ out there, but he was magnificent.
I saw the highlights on the All In Sport, Wayne. I watched that, and every time the ball got kicked in the forward line, it just fell in his hands. It played very well. And, because Culcan had a big win the week before against Henty, so they were in form, Culcan, so this is a huge win by the Power.
Yeah, magnificent. Holbrook 15-5-95. Over how long? 7-6-48. How long started the season? And we both thought that they could be right up there, but Holbrook really did show them something and more than doubled their score.
Look, Holbrook got off to a flyer and never looked back. Very good side, Holbrook. They recruited well. They lost a few. This Raven Jolliffe, very good player, played well last week. Guestia, Logan Hamilton in the ruck and that. So they've got good players, Holbrook. How long have you been disappointed? They recruited very well, but just haven't really hit their straps yet.
They haven't. I'll tell you what, Ramwell Bundry-Waller got their straps 34-18 to 6-11. And all the time I've been covering Hume, rarely, maybe Osborne here and there have smashed a side, but this is a big smashing from a side that said they're going to struggle this year. The Murray Magpies kicked 6 goals, 11, and I think that was to their credit that they were able to get that score. Nathan Wardius on the day boots 11 goals, and they really were celebrating the Giants.
Yeah, they played well, really. They played well. Nathan Wardius was up and about. Missed a couple early on, then just came home with a wet sail. Played well. I was actually at that game. So this is a funny thing, and I said this about Lockhart last year. The score often doesn't reflect the endeavour, so the Magpies got off to a little bit of a slow start, but they never dropped their bundle. They kept trying all day. So, I don't really think that score reflected the effort that Magpies put in.
Yeah, it's like that sometimes, and it's hard when you're down the bottom because it seems to happen. I'll tell you what, the match of the round, Henty have got the bragging rights against an old phone Lockhart. I'll tell you this, 13-13, 91 to 9-11, 65. The D's weren't bad, but Henty were just a bit too good, and they've got some depth in that side this year.
Not bad. I think Shannon Turley kicked a few, so I think Lockhart had a few out. I'm hearing, I was talking to someone the other day and they said there might have been 6 or 7 of their players out. They decided a music festival might be a better way to spend their Saturday than a football game. So a bit transient players these days. Doesn't take much to get rid of them. But maybe that's an excuse. It'll be interesting to see how they go. Play the Power on tomorrow. So, that'll be interesting. But they're disappointing, Lockhart. They should have done better than that.
Yeah, Adam Wooden and Angus Grigg tried hard. Luke Argus is okay. 4 goals to James McDermott and 2 to Ryan Shaw. But Shannon Turlick, he's one of the big goal kickers in the league, kicked 5 goals. And Joshua Kalimke kicked 2. Heath Olin and Nathan Klimsch were among the other good players on the day. So that brings us to this week in round 3 action. And Osborne take on Holbrook. Replay of last year's grand final, the occasion where Holbrook were able to shock the Osborne Tigers. They will be wanting to shock them back the other way, and they will come out hard, the Tigers.
Interesting as the year progressed last year, Wayne. Each time Holbrook and Osborne played, the margin got narrower. So the first game, Osborne had quite a comprehensive win at Holbrook. And obviously the last game, Holbrook got it over Osborne, so they'll be smarting Osborne. So I saw John Mackey said in the paper that he's not really mentioning the grand final last year. Don't worry about that. They'll be breathing fire when they come out, so they'll really want to play well at home. So I think I'll have to tip Osborne in this game.
Gingerra should get over the Billabong Crows at the Bulldog Park.
I've lost a bit of confidence in the Crows, I'm sorry, after last week's effort. I thought they would have gone a bit better than that. So Gingerra at home. Ground looks immaculate. Gingerra will be too strong.
Lockhart plays CDHBU in a ripping match. This one at Lockhart's Recreation Reserve. If they can put some music on maybe after the game, they might actually get all those boys line up on the home deck, and the old Power boys might not dance as well. But I think the dance could be won by the Power.
I think the Power will be too strong here. I just saw the teams. I'm not sure the coach is playing. I'm not sure if I saw him in the... I had a quick look through the teams in the board last night, and I don't think I saw his name in there, so... I'm not sure if he's playing or not, but if he doesn't play, that'll be a big out. But the Power will be far too strong.
How long have got to get some form? Brock Burham also. This is probably the match of the two sides who we expect to play finals, but are down near the bottom. Who's going to get off the bottom?
Funny sort of thing. I thought Howland would have been nearly almost 2 from 2, but or at least had one win. But they've been disappointing. And the BBC Saints and Brock Burham, they played well. Good win last week. So I'm thinking... I just think that Howlong might... this is my last chance, Howlong. I might have to jump off you after this week, but I think Howlong should win this.
All right, now Mad Dog Morgan Cup. This is the one between the Ramwell-Bundry Walla Seniors and Calcan. They get to that big rock outcrop there, and there'll be plenty to fight over between these two.
This will be probably the closest game of the round, possibly, Wayne. Not a lot to go in there. The Walla Sports Ground's looking pretty good. I saw the Giants last week. They played well. I haven't seen Calcan yet, but just after what I saw, I think the Giants did play well, so maybe just at home, I think the Giants might just sneak home.
Henty get the Murray Magpies at the Henty Showgrounds, and that's a beautiful oval. In the swamp line, though, many moisture about, they'd probably get bogged with their canola trailer.
That'd be it, but they're talking about it, just the chances of a few showers coming through. I can just see just an odd storm, sort of maybe a little bit more down to the south from where we are at the moment, so... They're still talking chance of a shower over the weekend, so might be a bit of that, but I think the weather will be pretty good, so Henty will be far too strong at home.
Well, they will, and Phil Bouffler, I'll let you get back to digging out to blokes on their canola sowing on the bottom end of the wet paddock, and you have a great weekend. Take care of, all the farming guys too, take care with getting people out of the bog, as it can be a little bit dangerous at times, so we look forward to your comments on Hume footy next week.
Let's hope. I've got to pick a couple of winners along the way, but it should be a good round of football, Wayne. The footy's been great. Crowds have been very good, if I could make that comment. Everyone I've spoken to said that every game they've been to, they've had great crowds, so it's good to see the people getting out and about, and it's just really good. Good netball. Netball's been great, and the whole league's going pretty well at the moment.
Phil Bouffler talking Hume footy, and back in a moment with a look at Riverina and Farrer.